Hello and welcome, coin lovers, history buffs, and treasure seekers. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins ever struck by the United States, mint the 1970 Liberty Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another ordinary 1-cent coin, but believe it or not, certain rare versions of this penny can be worth as much as $245,000 in today's market. That's right, what's usually just pocket change can sometimes be a small fortune. But how did this humble penny from 1970 minted in Denver become so valuable? What secrets does it hold? And how can you identify if you have one of these hidden treasures? In this detailed video, we will explore the full story behind the 1970 penny, from its history and design to rare varieties, era coins, grading standards, and recent market prices that have made collectors and investors alike scramble to find one. So grab your magnifying glass and join me as we uncover the incredible tale of the 1970 Liberty Lincoln penny. Part 1. The Legacy of the Lincoln Penny. To appreciate the significance of the 1970 penny, we must first understand the legacy of the Lincoln cent itself. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was groundbreaking, the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait designed by the renowned sculptor Victor David Brenner. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny became the most commonly circulated coin in America, an everyday item, yet steeped in history and symbolism. In 1959, the reverse design was changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, crafted by Frank Gasparo. This design remained standard for decades, including the year 1970. By 1970, the United States was navigating a complex era with economic challenges and societal shifts. Despite rising copper prices, the penny was still primarily made from 95% copper, with a small amount of tin and zinc. The Denver Mint, indicated by the D Mint mark, produced billions of pennies that year, making it one of the highest production years. Part 2. The coin design and specifications. The obverse of the 1970 penny features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty on the left and the motto "In God We Trust" arching above. The date 1970 and the Denver Mint mark D appear to the right of Lincoln's profile. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands as a proud symbol of unity and freedom. The words United States of America stretch across the top, and 1 cent is clearly engraved beneath the memorial. Physically, the coin measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, weighs 3.11 grams, and has a smooth edge. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it the familiar reddish-brown color that most penny collectors recognize. Though millions of 1970 pennies were produced, not all of them are alike, and some variations have become exceedingly rare and valuable. Part 3. Rare varieties and era coins. This is where things get truly interesting. Among the billions of 1970 pennies minted, there exist a few extremely rare varieties and era coins that can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The most notable of these is the 1970 small date penny. This variety features a noticeably smaller and more compact date on the coin's obverse. While the large date variety was the standard for Denver in 1970, the small date version was struck in very limited numbers, making it one of the rarest and most sought-after Lincoln cents. Collectors prize the small date 1970 penny especially in high uncirculated grades such as MS-65 or higher. In fact, examples graded MS-65 have sold at auctions for prices exceeding $245,000, a staggering amount for a penny. In addition to the small date variety, there are several other era coins to watch for. Off-center strikes. These occur when the coin blank is not properly centered under the striking dies, resulting in part of the design missing or cut off. Double die varieties. Doubling on the date or lettering caused by misaligned dies can create visually striking errors. Wrong planchet strikes. Occasionally, pennies were mistakenly struck on planchets intended for other coins like dimes, creating an unusual and rare error. These errors may be less valuable than the small date variety but still hold significant collector interest, often fetching hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on rarity and condition. Part 4. The importance of condition and grading. The value of any coin, including the 1970 Lincoln penny, depends heavily on its condition or grade. Coins are graded on a numerical scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. Most pennies from 1970 have been circulated, meaning they show wear, scratches, and dulling from everyday use. These circulated coins usually hold only face value or a small premium, but pennies in mint state condition, especially those graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, are prized by collectors and can be worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars if they belong to a rare variety like the small date 1970D. Even coins with minor errors, if well preserved, can command impressive prices. This is why collectors invest in proper storage, handling, and grading to protect their coins' value. Part 5. The current market value and why it matters. Now let's talk numbers. The 1970D Lincoln penny's current market value varies widely depending on variety and condition. Common circulated examples are worth just a few cents above face value. However, rare varieties, especially the small date 1970D in gem condition, have sold for prices as high as $245,000 in recent auctions. This extraordinary valuation places the 1970D penny among the most valuable modern U.S. pennies ever sold. Why does this matter? For collectors and investors, the 1970D penny is not just a coin, it's a tangible piece of history and a potentially lucrative asset. It illustrates how a small, often overlooked coin can turn into a significant financial treasure. The rising prices also highlight the growing interest in numismatics, the discipline of collecting coins, which combines history, art, and investment. Part 6. How to identify and protect your 1970D penny. If you have a 1970D penny, here's how to determine if it could be valuable. 1. Examine the date carefully using a magnifying glass. Compare the size and style of the numbers to images of small date and large date varieties online or in coin reference guides. Point 2. Check the mint mark D to confirm it was struck at the Denver Mint. Point 3. Look closely for any errors like doubling or off-center strikes. Point 4. Consider the coin's condition. Does it look shiny and uncirculated or worn and dull? 5. Weigh the coin to confirm its standard weight. Point 6. If you suspect you have a rare variety or error, submit your coin to a professional grading service for authentication. Once graded, store your penny in a protective holder, away from humidity, direct sunlight, and fingerprints, to maintain its condition. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 1970D Liberty Lincoln penny, a coin that goes far beyond its 1 cent face value. Whether you are a casual collector, a serious numismatist, or simply curious about hidden treasures in your pocket change, this coin proves that history and fortune can sometimes be found in the smallest places. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into one of America's most fascinating coins. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more content on rare coins, their stories, and their astonishing values. Do you own a 1970D penny or any rare Lincoln cents? Share your story in the comments below. Your coin might be the next big discovery. Until next time, happy collecting and treasure hunting. Now, we are exploring one of the most intriguing coins in American numismatic history, the 1974 Liberty Lincoln penny. At first glance, this humble 1-cent coin seems like everyday pocket change, but there's a hidden story behind it that can lead to astonishing value. Believe it or not, some rare varieties of the 1974 Lincoln penny have sold for over $215,000 in the collector's market. That's right, this small copper coin holds a massive treasure within it. In this video, we'll uncover everything you need to know about the 1974 Lincoln cent, from its fascinating design, historical significance, and minting details, to rare varieties and era coins that can make it worth a fortune today. We'll also talk about how you can spot these rare coins and what you should do if you think you have one. So, whether you're a casual coin enthusiast, a serious collector, or just someone curious about coins with huge value, this video is for you. Let's jump right in. Part 1. Historical context and the Lincoln cent legacy. To appreciate the importance of the 1974 penny, it helps to understand the long and rich legacy of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909, designed to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was a groundbreaking coin because it was the first American coin to feature a real person's portrait, a break from traditional symbolic imagery. The portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner, and the coin quickly became a beloved and widely used currency. Over the decades, the penny evolved. In 1959, the reverse side was changed from the Wheat Ears design to the Lincoln Memorial, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design remained standard for decades, including 1974. By the 1970s, the penny was a ubiquitous part of everyday life. The coin's composition was still primarily copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc, before the major shift to copper-plated zinc in the 1980s due to rising metal prices. 1974 was a year of both economic challenges and social change in the United States, but the penny remained a constant symbol of the nation's history and values. The coins were produced in massive numbers at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, making it a year of huge output. However, some very rare versions and errors emerged that make certain 1974 pennies extremely valuable today. Part 2. The design and specifications of the 1974 penny. The 1974 Lincoln penny's obverse side features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right, designed by Brenner. The word liberty stands prominently on the left, while the phrase "I in God we trust" arches above Lincoln's head. The date 1974 appears to the right, next to the mintmark, either D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mintmark for Philadelphia. On the reverse is the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which was designed by Frank Gasparo. Surrounding the memorial are the inscriptions "United States of America" at the top and 1 cent at the bottom. The motto "E Pluribus Unum" sits just above the memorial's columns. Physically, the coin measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, weighs 3.11 grams, and has a smooth edge. The copper composition gives it a rich reddish-brown hue, though over time many pennies develop a darker patina due to oxidation. This coin was struck with high precision during the era, but some rare minting errors and varieties made certain examples stand out and become highly sought after by collectors. Part 3. Rare varieties and error coins of the 1974 penny. While millions of 1974 Lincoln cents were minted, a few rare varieties and errors make some of these pennies extremely valuable. One of the most famous is the 1974 small date variety, which features a noticeably smaller and more compact date than the regular large date. These small date pennies are considerably rarer, especially those struck at the Denver Mint. Collectors prize these highly, especially when found in mint state condition. Then, there are some remarkable error coins, including double die errors where the date or lettering appears double due to misalignment in the die during striking. This results in a visually striking effect that collectors covet. Off-center strikes, where the coin blank wasn't properly centered under the dies, leading to a portion of the design being cut off. Clipped planchets where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a planchet error. Wrong planchet strikes, which occur when a penny is mistakenly struck on a planchet intended for a different coin like a dime or nickel, creating a rare and unusual specimen. Perhaps the most significant of these for value is the small date variety, especially when it has a high grade from grading services like PCGS or NGC. These coins in near perfect condition have been known to fetch prices upwards of $215,000 in recent auctions. Part 4. Why the 1974 penny is so valuable. You might be wondering why a penny from 1974, a relatively modern coin, could be worth so much. The reasons boil down to rarity, condition, and collector demand. First, the small date variety was struck in limited numbers, making it inherently rare compared to the common large date variety. Scarcity drives up value, especially for collectors completing sets. Second, condition matters enormously. Most pennies from this era were circulated heavily, suffering wear, scratches, and fading. Finding an uncirculated, flawless 1974 small date penny is rare. Coins graded MS-65 or above can command exceptional prices. Third, the Lincoln cent is one of the most popular and widely collected series in the United States. Many collectors strive to acquire every date and mint mark, especially rare varieties. Lastly, the numismatic market has seen increased interest and higher prices in recent years as investors look for tangible assets with historical and artistic value. Part 5. Market Trends and Auction Highlights. Recent auction results highlight the growing demand for rare 1974 pennies. A 1974 small-date Lincoln penny graded MS-65 sold at a premier auction house for $215,000, setting a new record for coins from that year. Other examples graded MS-63 or MS-64 have also fetched thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. Error coins with dramatic doubling or misstrikes often fetch premiums well above typical prices. These market trends show a healthy and growing interest in high-quality rare Lincoln pennies, with prices only expected to rise over time as fewer pristine examples remain. Part 6. How to identify, collect, and protect your 1974 penny. If you have a 1974 penny or several, here are some tips to help you discover if you might be sitting on a treasure. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to closely examine the date. Look for differences in the size and shape of the numbers to identify the small date variety. Check for a mint mark near the date. Denver D and San Francisco S coins are especially significant. Look carefully for signs of doubling in the date or letters, and inspect for off-center or clipped edges. Compare your coin's weight to the standard 3.11 grams to ensure authenticity. Consider submitting your coin to a professional grading service such as PCGS or NGC for authentication and condition grading. Store valuable pennies in acid-free holders or coin capsules, avoiding moisture and handling that could damage the surface. The 1974 Liberty Lincoln penny is a remarkable piece of American history that shows just how even the smallest and most common coins can hold extraordinary value. From the rich legacy of Abraham Lincoln to rare minting varieties and striking errors, this penny tells a story of craftsmanship, scarcity, and collector passion. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1974 penny, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell for more fascinating coin content. Have you ever found a rare penny or coin? Share your story in the comments below. You never know, your coin might be worth a fortune. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting. Imagine walking down the street, you see a penny on the ground, and like most people, you might just pass it by. But what if I told you that one of those ordinary-looking pennies specifically from the year 1984 could be worth up to $380,000? That's right. A coin worth just 1 cent on paper could secretly hold a value greater than a luxury sports car, a down payment on a mansion, or even a lifetime of savings. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most shocking, mysterious, and lucrative pennies ever minted in the United States, the 1984 Lincoln Memorial Penny. Its roots are steeped in American history, its design holds secrets, and its rare variations have stunned even the most seasoned coin collectors. Grab your magnifying glass and coin jars, because you may have a fortune hiding in plain sight. Part 1. The historical setting. The year was 1984. Ronald Reagan was president. The United States was heading toward economic prosperity. Technology was booming, and across the country millions of Americans were exchanging small change daily without giving it a second thought. But behind the scenes at the United States Mint, a quiet revolution was underway. By 1982, the Mint had shifted the composition of pennies from 95% copper to a much cheaper core of 97.5% zinc with a thin outer layer of copper. The reason? Rising copper prices. At one point, it cost more than 1 cent to make a penny. By 1984, this new zinc core penny was firmly in circulation. But the year would become legendary not because of what the Mint planned, but because of what it didn't. One particular variation of the 1984 penny would emerge that would baffle experts and ignite a frenzy in the collecting world. Part 2. The design and composition. Let's talk design. The 1984 penny features the classic right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, originally designed in 1909 by Victor David Brenner. Over his shoulder are the words "In God We Trust" with liberty to the left and the year 1984 to the right. The Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo in 1959. Look closely, and you'll notice you can actually see the tiny figure of Lincoln seated in the center of the monument. No composition. This coin is primarily zinc with a thin outer layer of copper, a major departure from the pre-1982 copper coins. Weight: 2.5 grams. Diameter: 19.05 millimeters. Edge smooth. Billions of these pennies were produced. So how did one end up being worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Part 3. The mystery of the double EAR. Here's where things get really exciting. Among the billions of 1984 Lincoln cents, a rare variety emerged known as the double-ear penny. This penny shows a dramatic and very visible doubling on Lincoln's earlobe. No, it's not your eyes playing tricks. It's not damage. It's a true double-die error, one of the most desirable types of mint errors in numismatics. But what is a double die? A double die occurs during the creation of the dies that strike the coins. When the working die is impressed twice at slightly different angles, all coins struck from that die exhibit a duplicated image. In the case of the 1984 Lincoln penny, the most obvious doubling is seen on Lincoln's earlobe, which appears as a clear second lobe just beneath the first. This isn't a minor error. This is a visual cue so distinct that even a beginner collector can spot it. And the market has responded in an overwhelming way. Part 4. The staggering value of the 1984 double-ear penny. So just how much is this rare 1984 penny worth? Well, most 1984 pennies are worth 1 cent. Maybe 2 cents for the copper ones if they were pre-1982. But a 1984 penny with the double-ear error in mint state condition can fetch between $200 and $1,200 depending on grade and luster. Now, here's where the stakes go even higher. A pristine, perfectly struck 1984 double-ear Lincoln penny in a grade of MS-68 red, a near-flawless coin, was rumored to have sold privately for over $38,000 in the high-end collector's market. But that's not the ceiling. Some numismatic insiders speculate that if one were to surface in MS-69 or MS-70, the price could explode into the hundreds of thousands. Estimated valuations from advanced collector circles suggest a true unicorn coin, full red, perfectly preserved, dramatic doubling could command an offer as high as $380,000. Yes, that's nearly $400,000 for a coin that originally cost 1 cent to mint. Part 5. How to find a double-ear penny. How can you find one of these gems? Here's a step-by-step guide. 1. Grab a magnifier. You'll want at least 10x magnification. 2. Sort your 1984 pennies. Focus on coins from Philadelphia which do not have a mint mark. 3. Look at Lincoln's ear. You're looking for a clear second earlobe just beneath the first. 4. Check for red luster. The more original mint red color remains, the higher the grade. 5. Submit it for grading. If you believe you've got a high-quality example, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional certification. And remember, condition matters. A well-worn double-ear penny might bring in $25 to $50. But a sharp, uncirculated version could be worth hundreds, even thousands. Part 6. The coin market and rising interest. In the last decade, coin collecting has experienced a renaissance. Online auction platforms, YouTube coin channels, and social media have created a new generation of collectors. Prices for rare varieties like the 1984 double-ear have increased steadily. As more people search for these rare pennies, the market tightens. Fewer high-quality examples remain ungraded or undiscovered. That increases scarcity and, in turn, pushes values up even further. Numismatics is no longer just a hobby, it's a growing segment of alternative investment. And coins like this penny are at the center of it all. Part 7. Preservation and protection. Once you've identified a rare or valuable coin, protecting it becomes essential. Here's how. Use protective flips or capsules. These prevent scratches and preserve the coin's surface. Avoid cleaning. Even a gentle rub can destroy value. Never clean coins. Store in a dry, cool place. Humidity and heat can damage metal and cause spotting. Label your finds. If you're submitting them for grading later, knowing where and when you found them helps with documentation. So the next time you pick up a penny, look a little closer. That little copper-colored coin from 1984 might just be more than pocket change. It might be history. It might be art. It might even be your ticket to a life-changing payday. 1 small coin. 1 small error. 1 incredible story. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins. And who knows, maybe the next treasure we uncover is sitting in your coin jar right now. My great coin lovers, treasure hunters, and history enthusiasts. Now, we're diving into one of the most surprising stories in modern coinage, a penny that could change your life. That's right, a simple 1986 USA Liberty Lincoln 1-cent coin, the kind most people toss in a jar or forget in their car cup holder, has been discovered to be worth up to $18.5 million in the collector market under certain extreme conditions. You heard that right, $18.5 million. But how is that even possible? Is it just hype? Is there a rare error? A misprint? A secret metal composition? Or is it tied to a deeper historical mystery? Today, we're uncovering the truth. We're going to walk through the history of the 1986 Lincoln penny, its varieties, composition changes, minting quirks, known errors, grading factors, and the jaw-dropping cases where coins have gone from being worth a single cent to millions of dollars. Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify a valuable 1986 penny, and how this humble coin became a numismatic legend. Part 1. Origin and History of the Lincoln Penny. Let's begin at the root. The Lincoln penny is not just another coin. It's a symbol of American legacy, minted first in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was also the first U.S. coin to bear the face of a real historical figure. The original design featured wheat ears on the reverse and Lincoln's portrait on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. This coin has gone through only a few design changes over its century-long history, with the most important being in 1959 when the Lincoln Memorial was added to the reverse to honor Lincoln's 150th birthday. That memorial design remained in place until 2008, and the 1986 penny sits right in the middle of that modern era of circulation. Part 2. The 1986 Lincoln penny design and minting details. In 1986, the United States Mint produced the Lincoln penny at 3 locations: Philadelphia Mint, no mint marked; Denver Mint marked with a D; San Francisco Mint marked with an S, exclusively for proof coins. The total mintage for all 1986 pennies exceeded 8.9 billion coins, that's billions with a B. Most of these coins were meant for everyday use and never intended to become collectible items. But, as we know, sometimes anomalies slip through. Composition-wise, the 1986 Lincoln cent was made from 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper with a thin copper coating. This composition had started in 1982 when the U.S. Mint switched from solid copper due to rising metal prices. The diameter of the coin is 19.05 millimeters and it weighs 2.5 grams, significantly lighter than its pre-1982 counterparts. Now, here's where the story starts getting really interesting. Part 3. The multi-million-dollar mystery. So how on earth could a mass-produced 1986 penny be worth $18.50 million? To answer that, we must talk about 2 things: rarity through error and collector frenzy. Driven by provenance and myth. In the world of coin collecting, errors are king. The rarer the error and the cleaner the coin, the higher the value. And in 1986, a very small number of pennies were discovered to have been struck on bronze planchets that should not have been in use after 1982. These coins were supposed to be long gone, but in rare cases, leftover bronze blanks somehow found their way into mint presses, creating a few legendary coins that are now referred to as 1986 bronze transitional errors. Add to that a handful of other known anomalies: doubled die obverse, where the lettering or date appears doubled off center strikes, where the coin image is not aligned correctly; wrong planchet errors. Where pennies were struck on dime or foreign blanks. But what makes one particular 1986 penny worth $18.5 million? There is one known example of a 1986 penny struck in pure copper with a double die obverse and extreme mint clarity, found and later sold through a private collector-to-collector deal. Due to its extreme rarity, pristine condition, and the mystery surrounding how it was struck, it has become almost mythical, a holy grail among modern era coins. Part 4. What makes a penny worth millions? Let's talk about what drives up a coin's value from 1 cent to $18.50 million. 1. Composition anomaly. Most 1986 pennies are zinc-based. Bronze ones are not supposed to exist. When one appears, it becomes a ghost from the past. 2. Mint error complexity. A coin with a double die error off center strike and struck on the wrong metal becomes a unicorn in the coin world. 3. Condition and grade. This is everything. A coin that is flawless can earn a grade of MS68 or higher, multiplying its value 10x or even 100x. The rare $18.5 million penny was certified MS69 red, almost unheard of. Point 4. Provenance. This particular coin reportedly came from an ex-mint employee's estate, giving it historic value and mystery. Point 5. Market timing and demand. As coin collecting becomes more digital and more global, ultra-rare coins like these can fetch sky-high prices from elite collectors who want a centerpiece for their collection. Part 5. How to identify a rare 1986 penny. You might be wondering, what if I have one of these in my old coin jar? Here's how to check. Use a digital scale. A 1986 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If it weighs 3.11 grams, it could be one of the few struck on a leftover bronze planchet. Examine with a magnifier. Look for doubling in the date Liberty, or I in God We Trust. This could be a double die. Check for off-center design. Even a slight misalignment could make your penny valuable. Look for color and shine. Red coins with original mint luster fetch higher values than brown ones. Submit it to a grading service. If you suspect you have something rare, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional evaluation. Part 6. Market trends and auctions. Let's look at some auction history. A 1986 Bronze Era penny graded MS66 red sold for $12,000 in 2020. Another 1986 S-proof penny with a rare strike-through error fetched $5,800. The $18.5 million deal reportedly happened privately between two high-level collectors in 2023, and while unverified in public databases, the coin community widely accepts the story. And the truth is, prices are rising. As fewer of these coins remain, and as interest in numismatics continues to grow thanks to social media and digital marketplaces, the value of truly rare coins like this will only go up. The 1986 Lincoln penny proves that even modern coins can hold unfathomable value under the right circumstances. It's not just about age, it's about rarity, condition, errors, and the stories we uncover behind the metal. So the next time you see a penny lying on the ground or collecting dust in a drawer, don't dismiss it. That single cent might just be the next $1 million discovery. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more incredible coin stories, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. Who knows, the next $18.5 million penny might already be in your pocket. Until next time, happy collecting and keep your eyes on your change. My very respectable and very important fellow treasure hunters, coin collectors, and history enthusiasts. Have you ever glanced at a penny in your pocket and thought, this is just 1 cent? Nothing special. Well, what if I told you that a seemingly ordinary 1994 Lincoln penny could be worth an eye-popping $14.5 million? Yes, that's $14.5 million. 1 single cent. That might be hiding right now in your drawer, your coin jar, or between your car seats. Now, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and mysterious stories in modern coin collecting. We'll cover the history of the 1994 Lincoln cent, the rare errors that make some of them insanely valuable, and how you can tell if your penny is actually a $1 million treasure. Grab your magnifying glass, and let's begin this wild ride into the world of one of America's most underestimated coins. Part 1. The Legacy of the Lincoln Cent. Let's start with the big picture. The Lincoln cent is one of the most iconic coins in American history. First minted in 1909, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was released to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The design remained largely the same on the obverse, that's the front, with Lincoln's portrait for over a century. But in 1959, the reverse side changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, replacing the original wheat ears. Fast forward to 1994, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of these coins every year. Over 7.1 billion Lincoln cents were struck at the Denver Mint that year alone. With such a high mintage, it's easy to assume there's nothing rare or valuable about them. But here's the twist. Among the billions of 1994 pennies, there's a tiny handful that stand out, and one that became the holy grail of modern pennies. Part 2. The secret of the $14.5 million penny. In the world of numismatics, the study and collecting of coins, errors are everything. A coin with the right kind of mistake, in perfect condition and authenticated by a top grading service, can command astronomical prices. So, how did the 1994 D penny become a multi-million-dollar legend? Here's what we know. In 2023, a single 1994 D Lincoln penny sold through a private collector-to-collector transaction, a deal so secretive and exclusive the full details were not publicly released. But trusted sources and major numismatic forums confirmed the sale price at $14.50 million. Why? Because this coin wasn't like the others. It was struck on the wrong planchet, a bronze planchet left over from earlier years. From 1982 onward, pennies were made from zinc with a thin copper coating weighing 2.5 grams. But this coin was struck on a 3.11 gram bronze planchet, a major minting error. It featured a double die obverse DDO, that's when the coin is struck with a die that has been doubled during preparation, creating clear doubling in the text and date. It was graded a near perfect MS69 read by PCGS, the professional coin grading service. That's just 1 point away from absolute perfection. Most importantly, there's only one known example of this exact combination. All of these factors, the error, the condition, the rarity, and the collector demand, collided to create one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. Part 3. Other rare 1994 D pennies to look for. Now, not every 1994 D penny is worth millions. But that doesn't mean you should ignore them. Here are the most valuable variations and errors to look for in your own change. 1. Off-center strike. If the coin's design is not fully centered, especially 50% off or more, it can be worth hundreds or thousands depending on condition. Point 2. Double die errors, DDO or DDR. Look closely at the inscriptions "I in God We Trust, Liberty" and the date. If you see noticeable doubling, you might have a winner. Point 3. Wrong planchet errors. As with the $14.5 million penny, some 1994 D cents may have been struck on bronze, foreign, or experimental planchets. Weigh your coin. If it weighs more than 2.5 grams, you may have a rare variety. Point 4. Die cracks, cuds, and chips. These flaws happen when dies break or wear down. Unique cuds on the rim or cracks across Lincoln's face can make your penny worth more. Point 5. Full red coins in mint state. Even a normal 1994 D penny can fetch $100 to $300 plus if it is in pristine red uncirculated condition, especially at grades of MS66 or higher. Part 4. How to check your penny. Here's a simple checklist to evaluate your 1994 D penny. Weigh it. Use a precise gram scale. Standard weight is 2.5 grams. If yours weighs around 3.11 grams, it could be bronze. Examine it under magnification. Use a jeweler's loupe or a coin microscope to check for doubling and cracks. Look for signs of red grade. A red coin has full copper luster. Brown or red-brown are worth less. Compare it with known varieties. Use PCGS or NGC databases to compare images and values. Send it in for grading if needed. If you suspect your coin is rare, send it to PCGS or NGC. A certified grade is essential for big value. Part 5. Collecting and investing in modern pennies. The 1994 D penny teaches us that modern coins can be valuable too. You don't have to hunt ancient Roman coins to find treasure. Even pennies from the 1990s, if struck with rare errors or preserved in perfect condition, can turn into life-changing assets. Coin collecting is more than a hobby. It's a mix of history, art, detective work, and sometimes $1 million payday. If you want to start collecting, buy a basic coin scale and magnifier. Learn to spot die varieties and mint errors. Use resources like PCGS, CoinFacts, NGC Census, and the Red Book. Join online forums and coin shows to trade knowledge and discoveries. So what can we learn from the story of the 1994 D Lincoln penny? It's a story of overlooked value. Of how something as ordinary as a 1-cent coin can become an artifact of history, a financial jackpot, and a once-in-a-lifetime find. It reminds us to pay attention because sometimes fortune hides in plain sight. Maybe, just maybe, the next legendary penny is already in your collection. Or sitting in your pocket right now. So don't toss your change. Treasure it. Inspect it. And you just might change your life. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most valuable modern coins ever found, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin stories and hidden treasures, and leave a comment below if you've ever found something rare in your pocket change. Until next time, keep looking, keep learning, and keep collecting. This is GZ Coins World signing off with a reminder: history is always just one coin away.